We talked about this a little bit in committee. How do you square the thought that yoga is a spiritual activity? Certainly has its roots in spiritual activity, being having its roots in Hinduism and Buddhism and things of that nature.
Yes, so first of all, the expectation was the yoga that would be in class, that would be presented in class, would be non-religious, just like any other kind of activity in school. It would need to be from an academic perspective. So first of all, I just want to put that on record. The same expectation would be there for the practice of yoga as bringing any other religious-based practice. But yoga today, there are many forms where it is not religious at all. And then I also think it's important that we recognize that many of our traditions within our school have religious foundations. Our school calendar is based on a Christian holiday calendar. We say the Pledge of Allegiance daily, where we say under God. The celebration of Halloween comes from pagan origins, and so I think it is unfair to specifically have issues specifically with yoga because of its religious origins. Many of the practices that we have in daily life have historically religious origins. And again, the expectation for the public schools would be to make it non-religious, just like anything else.
Is there an opt-out option for parents that don't want their kids participating in? Because what you're doing here is you're allowing outside organizations to come in and basically facilitate this, and you never know what you're going to get with that kind of stuff. So is there a specific opt-out for parents that don't want their kids participating in spiritual activities at school?
As we discussed in committee, there is not specific opt-out language in this piece of legislation, but as the school board administrator explained to us, school boards have policies, opt-out policies, and so if a parent had an issue then with their students getting mental health mindful coping skills while in school, then they could certainly go to their local school board.
Are you familiar with the Quiet Time program?
No, I'm not.
That's been instituted in several schools?
No.
You're not?
No.
I would say that you should probably familiarize yourself with that. It's a program from the David Lynch Foundation. It's based on transcendental meditation. In fact, there is a class action lawsuit in the Chicago Public Schools right now because students are saying that they're basically being forced into a situation where they're doing yoga and all these other transcendental meditations, and it's against their Christian values, but they're forcing these people basically, or using coercion to get these folks to do that. You haven't heard or read anything about that?
No, I have not.
Okay, so an ex-student of the Chicago Public Schools was just awarded $150,000 from CPS as a result of her filing a lawsuit that forced her to participate in this Quiet Time program, this meditation program, which has basically been characterized as a thinly veiled Hinduistic religious ritual. Your bill would not prohibit something like this Quiet Time program. I understand that you're saying that this isn't a religious deal, but at the same time, you're bringing in outside organizations to facilitate this potentially. Your bill is permissive to that. So I think we're getting into very, very dangerous territory here, and we've got actual case studies in the state of Illinois where these issues have been very, very problematic. Problematic enough that our education system has had to pay out to basically settle claims of this nature. Do you have any commentary to that?
Again, this is permissive.
It's permissive, yes, but you can definitely be putting your students in situations where they would feel compelled to have to do this. In fact, that's exactly what happened in the Chicago public schools because of this very issue. I'll just
Again,
go to
I haven't heard about the specific issue that you were talking about, but overall, this meets the same standards of any other type when any kind of other outside organization comes into our schools for a variety of reasons. As a former teacher, I had guest speakers come in and talk about a variety of things. There are procedures in place in every school that school districts have policies around safeguarding, making sure that you have reputable organizations. Again, I can't speak to the a specific example that you were talking about, but this applies. The same guidelines, baselines to meet non-religious standards applies here as well.
Thank you. To the bill, this is a very bad idea. There are already cases out here where situations like this have been abused. The Chicago Public Schools has paid money to negate this very issue. So I would strongly encourage a no vote on this.